So in today's video, we're going to look at error trapping. So this is the methodology that you would use to ensure that any errors that come up during your code running are handled in a good way. There's going to be a later video where we talk about error logging and doing a little bit more advanced error trapping. But for now, this is just a pretty simple way to get errors to come up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this button here. You can see that very early on in my code, so this code is just run the first few lines. It would actually be better if it was even further up. But this is saying if there is an error, go to this message now. So this is something I've defined, this MSG now. There are different ways to do this. You can do on error go to, let's see some of the other ways that this is handled. On error resume next essentially just says if you have an error, just keep going. This can be useful if you know what you're doing, but this can also be dangerous because it can hide things. So that is one way, just to say if there's an error comes up, just keep going. On error go to 0 means that as soon as an error comes up, the code will just stop. That's kind of the default, but in this code I actually flip backwards forwards a few times between the code on doing resume next and go to 0. So that's why there's different methodologies. But for now, the way that this is setting is this is saying on error go to this message now. So I've added this little line of code here to jump down. So we are going to step in, and this is saying, so this, if, as long as I haven't used on error go to 0, on error resume next further on, what will happen is anytime that the code breaks or there's an error, it will jump down to this message. And essentially what this says is if the error is that there's an unspecified error, do this. So right now there's no error available. So if I was to add this to my watch, you can see the value of the error is 0. There is no error right now. So let's just skip that if statement, and then it could show something that is meaningful. So for this, it's accessing district law firms or district courthouses to access their data. Sometimes it's closed or it's not available. It will just give an unspecified error back. So that's why this is handled like this. How you handle it's up to you. But I can now very clearly write a very clear description of what's going on for the user. And then here I'm clearing the error afterwards so that they know that the error is cleared. A lot of times you'll see this right at the end of code. So this might say then exit sub. And it might also have the error clear, so it would say exit sub. So you would show the user what the issue is, you would clear the error, and then you would exit sub. On this, it happens to keep going because it's doing other things as well. But you'll see this a lot of times right at the bottom of the code. And what you'll also see is you'll see something like this. So if the code completes successfully, it goes through everything without an error, it will just exit it. But if there is an error, it will come up and it will show this comment, whatever message you want to send. And then you can obviously use the message description or the message ID right in there. You can also use line numbers. I'm not using line numbers right now, but you can also use line numbers to actually show where that code is breaking. So just a way to handle errors. Like I said, you can also use resume next or go to 0, but this will actually take your code, if any error comes up, directly to a point where you can then handle those as you need to. Maybe it just displays a comment, maybe exit gracefully, or maybe if it's a certain kind of error, it will show it to the user. Other kinds of errors, it will just keep going. So whatever you want to do to handle that, but that is error trapping. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Please also share. Please go ahead and check out my other videos on my page. Have a great day.